we still even? Even Stevens. What even is that from? I don't think I know that. Hi guys, it's Teresa. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna keep talking about my TBR shelf because if you've watched my last video, you know I'm currently in a reading slump and I'm not doing well on any of my reading goals in any way, shape, or form. So I can't really talk about books I have read because I haven't read any in like several days. And if you know me, that's not typically me. I typically finish a book every couple days or like at least twice a week or something like that. And it's been tough not to do that. So anyway, today I'm going to be doing the TBR tag or TBR shelf tag. I don't know if I've done it before, but we're just gonna do it again because if I have done it, it's been a minute. The first question is, how do you keep track of your TBR pile? Obviously through Goodreads. This is like my main source. If Goodreads ever like crashes, my life will be over because it holds like all my bookish reading information. So please don't go away, even though sometimes I hate you, but most of the time I love you, okay? Pretty much I just put them on my TBR there. I don't really go through that TBR though when I'm trying to find books I want to read. I don't know why, but I'll never read them all for sure. And I probably should do like a clean out, but that's a different story. Is your TBR mostly print or ebook? Mostly print. I don't really read ebooks unless they're ARCs, or unless they're really super cheap on ebook, or unless I plan to return them within the week, which you can do on Amazon. A book that's been on your TBR list the longest, that was hard to find because this TBR shelf, I'm gonna show you clips, is pretty new on quote unquote, and I have only really started buying books like this successively in the last 2 years, so there's not one book that's like been there for ages, but I guess like 2 or so years is also a long time. So if I had to pick one, I would probably pick The Chrysanthemum and the Sword Patterns of Japanese Culture by Ruth Benedict, just because this has been also on my like non-physical TBR before even being on my physical TBR. I bought this book while I was in Japan, but I heard about it way before then when I went to uni for Japanese studies, so the first semester or something like that. Because it's a very it's one of the first books ever written on Japanese culture. It's not like accurate factually necessarily, but it's just interesting to see what people thought of Japanese people back then. And this was actually written for the purpose of like understanding your enemy kind of thing from the Americans during the Second World War. I think that's a really interesting aspect when you look at it that way. I clearly didn't get very far. I think I read like 20 pages, but I really want to read it just so that I have read it, I guess, and I feel like I should because it's kind of my field of knowledge as much as I have knowledge on anything. The second book I would pick for this is probably Winter by Marissa Meyer. I don't even know when I read the first 3 books in this series, probably 2014 or something like that. And I bought this because I saw it. No, I bought this because I was somehow thinking I was gonna read it, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I might put this on my project TBR for next year, but I'm highly doubting I'll get to it because this is an actual tome of like 800 pages of a mediocre YA fantasy that I'm not particularly interested in anymore, so you do the math on that. Next question. A book you recently added to your TBR. That would have to be The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. I think this was one of the most recent ones. I'm so excited to read it, but again, go watch the last video on why I really don't want to start any more books at the moment. So it's just not gonna happen right now, even though I know I would love it probably. I'm so hyped, but I'm afraid of like getting another book caught in the collateral damage of my current bad reading situation, mood, whatever. So I'd rather put this off until I feel like I can dedicate whatever I need to this book or whatever it needs. A book in your TBR strictly because of its beautiful cover. Now, I don't do strictly cover buys. I'm not that kind of a rich person. But this next book definitely influenced me to like 80% with its cover. And that is The Map of Salt and Stars by Jennifer Sina Jokadar. Excuse me. can't pronounce that at all. But just look at this cover. I randomly saw it on Goodreads and the synopsis sounded wonderful, and it just is so pretty and everything about it. And I'm so excited to read it, but again, I'm actually trying not to read good books right now because I would just ruin them. So if that's not logical, I don't know what is. A book on your TBR that you never plan on reading. Wow, that is sad. I know we're all a little bit self-delusional, like telling ourselves we're definitely gonna read all of them, but at some point, you need to come clean with yourself and be honest and say like, I'm not gonna read this. And it's hard. For me, that book is Blockchain Basics, a non-technical introduction in 25 steps by Daniel Drescher. This book stems from my time last year being really into blockchain technology and Bitcoins and Ethereum and things like that, and wanting to understand it more. I even like started my own channel, not just for myself, but like with other people. And then things went to shit, and now I just don't really care about it that much anymore. I think, I don't know, I'm definitely gonna keep it. Like, I don't know. I think it could be a good book, interesting book. But I just don't have really a technical brain for this kind of thing. And I don't know if I'm gonna read it ever. So, this one. Hurts the least to admit it with this one at least. Next, an unpublished book on your TBR that you're excited for. I don't know if this means that you're supposed to have an arc of the book or if it's just supposed to be like on your TBR and it's about to come out. For me, that would be The Dark Days Deceit by Alison Goodman. It's the third book in the Dark Days Club, and I think the final one. And I'm so excited for it. I'm currently trying to reread the first two, and I love them. They're so good, and yeah, I'm super hyped for that one. A book on your TBR that basically everyone's read but you. 100% the answer to that is The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. I don't know why this hasn't happened yet. It's tragic, and everybody's read this. I know of very few people, if anyone at all, who didn't enjoy this. So why have I not done it? I don't know. You tell me. A book on your TBR that everyone recommends to you is definitely The Diviners by Libba Bray, particularly since I showed it in my last book haul. People have been telling me that they loved it so much and I need to read it. And I'm like, I know, I want to, but it's really long and I'm not in a good mood for reading right now. A book on your TBR that you're dying to read. Well, I'm dying to read almost all of them, but this one, it's a repeat, but The 13th Tale by Diane Satterfield. I honestly can't wait until I get to it, but I don't know when. And yeah, I said before, I'd rather preserve it for the time being. And then finally, how many books are on your Goodreads TBR shelf? So we're gonna check, and it says 780. I don't think that that's too bad. That's not that many, but I think several of them, I mean, it's a lot, but I think several of them I probably don't care about anymore, and if I were to go through them, I would take them off. But since the Goodreads shelving system is atrocious and every time you delete something, it like reloads the entire page, I haven't bothered with it yet. So around 780, I guess. And that is it for the TBR shelf tag. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for putting up with my non-creative content right now. And I hope you're doing great. Let me know what book you're most excited to read that's on your TBR, but you somehow haven't gotten to it yet because the moment just hasn't felt right, or you're trying to savor it. Let me know. Please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for new videos every Tuesday and Friday. I promise. And if you can't wait until then, check out some other videos I did, and I will see you very soon with another one. Have a lovely week. Bye!